continue to focus on this main screen. I call it today's screen, but really, it's truly not. In here, all these elements up here are touchable as well. So if you there's no specific area you need to touch. If you just touch in the general area, in there it will show status of course, today's date, battery. Here you could do quick launches for turning Wi-Fi on and off, and setting up access points, Bluetooth, and turning on airplane mode as well. So you can just touch that again. This area over here is touchable. And I don't know if you can see it in the video. It's not my screen flexing. That's actually feedback on the screen. That's an animation that kind of goes like a little ripple. So it kind of gives you some feedback as to what you're touching. So that's kind of nice. Let's take a look at the launcher. So we click this button down here. And here's the launcher. So the launcher is kind of interesting. The launcher, everything in here is movable, so we can sort based on our preference. We just hold down a thing, and you notice it kind of highlights here. I could drag stuff around. As far as I can tell right now, you can't create folders and put specific apps or icons in there yet, but definitely you could drag them off. This launcher has a couple pages because I have lots of different stuff loaded. Oop. I accidentally launched an app. I'm not sure which one. We'll talk about that in a second. Let me go back to the launcher here. So the launcher is based on these pages that you scroll left and right, but if you have more apps on that page, of course, you need to scroll up and down. So it's just a matter of organizing the launcher to your preference. So I have some apps here I've loaded from the App Store, the Twitter application, then some other apps, Pandora, etc. And those are loaded, like I said, from the App Store right now. So here's all the apps that are on this particular device. App Catalog, Sprint TV. I've gone through most of them. I haven't used the NASCAR one. I haven't, of course, used the Amazon MP3 one, but I believe the Amazon MP3 one's probably like the G1 one. Probably not too much different. The way to really work with the phone, you have to think about, it's not a Windows mobile device, and it's not an iPhone, and it's not a BlackBerry. So you have to think the way they organized their applications and their preferences. They set up preferences specific for each application. So there is no main settings icon here that would control all the preferences for every app and the entire phone. It's not completely consistent, but just remember that for every app there's a preference, and so in that app you choose this drop down here. You can see up here launcher. Obviously launcher, if you click this here, this doesn't have a preference obviously, but let's look at an app and we could take a look at that so you can see what I'm talking about. Like, let's fire up the app catalog here. So app catalog loads here. And if you click that, actually app catalog doesn't have it either. But in any case, I think you'll understand what I'm talking about once you start playing with the phone. The next part is, of course, the big thing everyone's crazy about, of course, is multitasking with the Pre. So what is multitasking, and what does it look like, and how do you manage it? So in the middle here, in this gesture area, there's this actual button. It's not a ball. It's not like a BlackBerry Pearl. It's not like a G1 ball. It's actually just a button. You press this button, and what this does is this puts the Pre and their applications in what they call card mode. Card mode is their multitasking function. So in card mode, you can swipe between applications that are running. In here, of course, you can launch the particular app. I can go back and launch this app. I can go and let's just launch another app. We'll launch my calendar here. I don't think I have anything in there for today. Today's Sunday. Yeah, it's empty. Just my workout routine. So let's take a look. So this is 3 different apps running. Okay. If you want to leave these apps running, fine. There is no automatic close. There is no Xbox like Windows Mobile or a process to kill running tasks. You manage these apps on your own. How many apps can you run at once? It depends on the app. It depends on how the Pre's feeling that day. Remember, it's an early device. Yeah, I've loaded the latest release. That's 1.0.2, I believe, that came out yesterday on the day of launch. So I believe that, of course, they'll be coming out with more updates that'll kind of manage memory better and manage the phone better. The phone really hasn't crashed on me yet, but you know, I've seen some issues, and definitely they're well documented on the forums. We'll see out there. But in any case, if you want to manage your apps, if you want to move them around so you know they're in a particular order because you leave them running all the time, you can hold down an app that's in card view and drag this around. You notice how the whole card view window got smaller, and then if you just click back in there, of course it'll go back to the app. How do you manage closing the app? You go into card view and then you actually just flick that up, and now that app is closed.